Okay, we ready? Are we ready in there? We on? Oh, okay. All right. Well, good evening, and welcome to the regular scheduled meeting of the mayor and council. Today is Monday, October 16th, and it's about a little after 7 o'clock. So if we may have the reading of the Open Public Meetings Act, please.
This meeting was called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting was sent to the Union County Hawk, Westfield, New Jersey, the Courier News, Bridgewater, New Jersey, the Star Ledger, Newark, New Jersey, Union County Local Source, Union, New Jersey, and the Alternate Press, tapinto.net. In addition, copies of the notice were posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and filed in the office of the borough clerk. Notices on the bulletin board have remained continuously posted. Proper notice having been given, the deputy borough clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of this meeting.
Thank you. For everyone that is here, if you may please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would ask, as we do in our moment of silence, to please remember that there is a big world out there that seems to be in a lot of turmoil, and that our thoughts and prayers are with our Israeli friends and neighbors, and that we look to a peace in the region as we see the Palestinian people in grave danger and also in grave mass exodus themselves, fleeing their land, and that together that everyone can find a lasting peace. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Council President Jeffrey Banks. Gina Berry.
Here.
Anthony Carter.
Present.
Erin McElroy Barker.
Here.
Catherine Mitchell. Here. Tricia Walsh.
Here.
I'm here too.
Oh, here, Mar.
Just let the record show.
Sorry.
So, good evening, and as I said, welcome. Tonight, we also are welcoming a new face to our dais, so we want to give a warm welcome to Jesse Moman, who started this last week, October 9th, or 10th, with us. He came to us from Melbourne, where he served as the Assistant Business Administrator, and so this is your very first meeting here in Fanwood, so we welcome you. And look forward to a great working relationship for the betterment of Fanwood and its residents. So, welcome aboard. This meeting, we have no appointments, proclamations, or presentations. We actually are wearing pink tonight because we know it is October is Breast Cancer Awareness. At our last meeting, we also had a resolution in support of metastatic breast cancer awareness. And so all of our hearts and thoughts and actions go to all the women and families of women and men who are fighting any type of breast cancer, and everybody looks really nice in pink, and thank you for that. At this point, we'll open up our first privilege of the floor to the public. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to call forward any members of the public that are here who wish to make a comment. This would be excluding ordinances, which I think we may have. Seeing that there isn't anyone that wishes to come forward, may I have a motion to close this meeting to the public?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is the approval of our minute meetings. We had 2 meetings at the beginning of October, both were October 2nd. One was our work session meeting, and the other one was our executive session. The minutes have been distributed for any comment. If there isn't any comment, I'd like to have a motion to approve those 2 meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on under public safety, Patricia Walsh, Councilwoman Walsh, you have a ordinance?
Yes.
This is a first reading, I believe?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I introduce ordinance number 2023-15-S and request the title be read by the clerk.
Ordinance amending the Borough of Fanwood Code of Ordinances to change smoke detector inspection fees.
I move that ordinance number 2023-15-S be adopted on first reading, and if adopted, that the clerk advertise the ordinance as required by law, and that the second reading of said ordinance be held at a public hearing at Borough Hall, 75 North Martine Avenue, Fanwood, New Jersey, on
November 20th.
November 20th, 2023, at 7 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be heard.
All right, may I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Under Administration and Finance, we have an amendment and restated bond ordinance that needs to be moved.
Thank you. I move ordinance O-2023-16-S and request the title be read by the clerk.
Amended and restated bond ordinance.
I move that ordinance number
We
O.
have a different title on it.
We have this one we have.
Yeah, I think that's the one you got to read into the...
Bond ordinance, amending and restating bond ordinance number 2020-22 as amended and providing an appropriation of $10,700,000 for the construction of a library and museum with the library in and by the Borough of Fanwood in the County of Union, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $7,202,500 bonds or notes of the borough for financing part of the appropriation.
Thank you. I move that ordinance O 2023-16-S be adopted on first reading, and if adopted, that the clerk advertise the ordinance as required by law, and that the second reading of said ordinance be held at a public hearing at Borough Hall, 75 North Martine Avenue, Fanwood, New Jersey, on November 20th, 2023, at 7 o'clock p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be heard.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And just let the record show, this is not changing the amount of the bond, this is just restating because we have introduced the museum into the project.
Correct. Not changing the amount.
Right, so there's no increase with the money, it's just making sure that we were using some of the money towards the museum, and we need to state it in the bond. Thank you.
Me again?
Okay, thank you. Moving on, under Administration and Finance, we have now payment of claims for October.
Okay. I'll move resolution 2023-10-192, authorizing payment of claims for October 2023.
May I have do you have a second on that?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Council President Jeffrey Banks. Gina Berry.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Affirm.
Erin McElroy Barker.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Tricia Walsh.
Yes.
Okay, next up on the consent agenda, the Borough Council of the Borough of Fanwood has determined that to increase efficiency, the consent agenda shall be adopted in one resolution, and the following resolutions require no discussion as they have been previously reviewed by each governing member, 2023-10-193 to 2023-10-203. Now, be for it resolved that the Borough Council of the Borough of Fanwood, that each of the below listed resolutions are going to be approved and has the same legal effect as though each was read in its entirety. So my first point of order will be if there would be any exceptions, if anybody needs to take anything out for further discussion. Seeing that there isn't any, can I have a motion to move Resolution 2023-10-193 through 2023-10-203?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Council President Jeffrey Banks. Gina Berry.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Affirm.
Erin McElroy Barker.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Patricia Walsh.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, there is no old business at hand. We will move to standing committee reports. Councilman Carmen. Councilman Carter.
Okay, so Administration and Finance met this past Thursday, introducing again our newly hired business administrator, Jesse Molman, to our process, and started preliminary discussions on processes to make the budget process a bit more efficient and fluid. And of course, Jesse's going to come in with his experience and his knowledge base to offer up what he believes can move the process along also in a more timely and efficient manner. And that's kind of where we are right now with Administration and Finance.
Okay, you have one motion to accept the tax collector's report.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept the tax collector's report for September 2023.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Council President Jeffrey Banks, Gina Berry,
Yes.
Anthony Carter,
Affirm.
Erin McElroy Barker,
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell,
Yes.
Patricia Walsh.
Yes.
Okay, moving on into public safety, Police Commissioner Patricia Walsh.
Thank you. So this is the monthly summary for September 2023. The department handled 1,016 calls for service, about 33 per day. This included 108 traffic enforcement details, 289 building security checks. Our officers conducted 87 park and walk details, as well as responding to 39 medical calls and 26 fire burglar alarms. During the month, 140 vehicles were stopped for traffic violations, resulting in 138 summonses being issued, 100 were for moving violations, 38 for parking. We had various officers attend different training classes last month, and all full-time sworn officers qualified with their department-issued firearms. The police department is hosting its third annual Police and Pumpkin event on Saturday, October 28th, from 10 to 12 at LeGrand Park. I think last year was the first year we did, oh, no, this is our third, I'm sorry. But it was great. The kids came and had fun decorating pumpkins, and adults are welcome to come and chat with the police on anything they would like to. There's free coffee and hot chocolate. One adult was arrested during the month. Let me just see what else. The Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over initiative ended in September with multiple Fanwood officers participating, and the paperwork has been finalized with the state. We get reimbursed for that. The Fanwood Police Department received a Silver Recognition Award from Easy Ride, a nonprofit organization that stresses the importance of traffic safety, community outreach. We hope to achieve gold status in 2024. The Fanwood officials have been working to ensure that Fanwood Day and the Fanwood 5K and the Halloween Parade contest are or were all a success. And I'll just say that Fanwood Day was a success. It was great. And the Fanwood 5K held yesterday. I'm sure Erin will elaborate on that, but it was a huge success, and we thank the police department for all their help. As I said, we'll host the annual Police and Pumpkins, and I think that's it for this month. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on into Public Works, Councilwoman Kathy Mitchell.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I'm going to start with the news.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep on forgetting that you guys are.
She forgets the rest of public safety.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, you go. Me? Sure. All right. So I wasn't ready. No, I was ready, but I closed it. Okay, so I have the rescue squad. The rescue squad was called to service for 21 calls in the month of September. They are down to a 38% insufficient crew call rate in September. They are taking much more accurate account and getting numbers from the county. So this is a much more accurate reflection, but it is much smaller percentage of insufficient crew calls than it had been. They are actively recruiting. They have brought on new members. Most of the calls were respiratory, cardiac, and sick. there were 7 trips to Overlook. And the highlights also for what their community involvement has been, and is they're present at all of the football games, both the high school and PAL. They had a definite presence at Fanwood Day. They were on hand yesterday, both for anyone in need of service and also at the health fair. And so they are kind of everywhere they need to be. And Ian Lewis actually managed to run a whole mile with his baby yesterday, so we congratulate him. He said he can't run the 5K, so maybe he would need the rescue squad after that. But yeah, so they're doing everything they can, and their goals in the following months again are asking for more people to go on calls and continuing to recruit new membership and train them. And they need more weekend and overnight coverage. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman?
During the month of September, this is for the fire department. They had 26 calls for assistance, including 1 dryer fire, 9 residential fire alarms, 4 commercial fire alarms, 2 down wires, 1 spilled, 1 open burn outside fire, 1 natural gas, 3 motor vehicle accidents, 1 smoke condition, and 1 mutual aid. No injuries were reported for the month of September. That's
Okay,
it.
thank you. Public Works, Councilwoman Mitchell?
Well, once again, thank you, Mayor. I'm going to start with the ministerium, only because the crop walk is next weekend.
Crap.
And I don't want to embarrass anybody here. However, I am collecting for the crop walk, and thus far, I only have $50, and this goes in under the borough of Fanwood. So if you don't want to make us look like chumps,
Pass it down.
Well, Kathy, you
better.
usually give us more notice than that.
I
She already
said it
collected.
last time.
She did.
You did?
She
I did.
I my money. Just saying.
Okay, see me afterwards.
Good for you, Trish.
Okay, now that I embarrassed everybody.
Thank you.
But I had to do some publicity for it. The money that's collected, the borough of Fanwood and Scotch Plains get back 25% of that money, and then that money is subsequently divided into 3 and given to the 3 local food pantries, which is Immaculate Heart, St. Bart's, and the Presbyterian Church. So I'm just asking for everyone's help and support. Also, I'd just like everyone to know that on October 21st at the Dhamaka Maya, I think I pronounced it correctly, Meditation Center, there will be a candlelight service for peace. If you have never been to that, I would encourage everybody to come, particularly in light of everything that's going on in the world. It's about an hour long. Nobody's trying to convert you to any sort of religion or religious perspective. It's just peaceful. And I think...
And they do this worldwide, right? Like, this is like a worldwide
Yes, worldwide.
event, and that we just have our little piece of it happening here at the same day and time.
Exactly.
Kath, what time is that?
It's usually held outside, however, I think the weather is supposed to be
Rainy.
So they'll move
inclement
inside.
for a change this weekend.
7:30
7:30 to 8:30.
on the 21st of October.
And as I said, I would encourage everybody to come because it is very, very peaceful. Last year, they had to, because they were still observing some COVID restrictions, they had it in basically their parking lot with the chairs separated. But it's usually, when the weather's much nicer, it's back in the garden where they have all kinds of beautiful flowers and sculpture, and it's just it's very peaceful. Okay, now the seniors had a very good meeting this morning. They had a representative from Arbor Terrace there, which is an assisted living facility. And she brought with her several other people, one of whom was an elder lawyer, and he encouraged all of the seniors to have all of their information in place, such as the living will and a healthcare provider, in case, just you can't make your own healthcare decisions. And really brought home this fact that, if you don't do that, then, your family and you end up with other people making decisions for you. And then there was a home health care agency that was there. And apparently, this is something, I guess, that most home health agencies don't do. And it's some of the things that accompany to medical appointments. And you can have help 1 or 2 hours a day, or just somebody just to do food shopping, but you would have to sign up for it in advance. And then there was another person there who I thought was very, very interesting, because she troubleshoots for people, hopefully before anything happens to you, and they will come in and do all kinds of things for you if you need it, help you with all of your, if you want to sell your house, if you want to do anything that has to do with preparation for everything. Let me see. Okay, let me go now to Public Works. Let me find that.
Kathy, do we want to talk about the leaf raking program?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, we did start that today. We have last year, the program of raking leaves for seniors, collecting volunteers and raking leaves for seniors. We started that today. I think we have
today?
Pardon?
You opened it up today?
We opened it up today, yes, to the seniors, and so we'll open it up to the whole town. It was a very successful program last year. It will probably be the weekend, the first weekend in December.
So what should people
What's the
be looking for?
process?
Yeah, what's the process, Courtney?
We will have forms that can be filled out, on paper in the Borough Hall office. It'll be on the website. Also, you can download and fill it out. You can always call Borough Hall office. My extension is 123. It's easy to remember, so call my office and I will help you sign up for it. And we're looking for people to also volunteer to do the raking, as well as people who would like their leaves raked.
So last year, we made sure that the library had the forms, both for the,
put them in the library as
like a
well.
flyer that the volunteers could take, and then also for the senior citizens, or I think it was more than seniors, right? I think it was seniors and it was individuals who were disabled.
Correct.
Right, I think we have like a split, we kind of broke it
Yeah,
down.
if this is the same program
Yes.
as last year, it's the
Yes.
same exact thing.
Yes.
And we already have a web, there's already everything built on
Okay.
the web, we just have to get the new dates.
So the
If anything's
volunteer,
different, just send it to me.
the volunteers also call you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we provide
There's a form for the
breaks.
volunteers and for the seniors, I think. right?
Yes,
Yes,
2 different
two.
forms.
Right.
And we provide I think we provide gloves, and Public Works will be around that day,
Right.
to help. And last year, it was the first year, we had a really nice turnout.
Correct.
And I think Kathleen's files are probably all there.
We're all set.
We're all set. It's a really good thing.
And also, in 2 weeks, the seniors will be, Mitt will be there from Fanwood Pharmacy, and he will be giving out flu shots. So any senior in town who needs a regular flu shot, it's not the COVID, it's just the regular flu shot, can come to the senior meeting 2 Mondays from now at 10:30 in the morning. And if you need a flu shot, we ask you to please let Courtney know at Borough Hall, because he needs to know how much vaccine to bring. You don't want him to run out in the middle of things, so please let Courtney know if you think you want to take advantage of this. Let me see. Okay, now this is a report from Clint Dixon, our DPW department. And they're the people who are the workhorses, basically, of the community. You saw all of the orange cones and barriers up, and that was for Fanwood Day and the race that we just had yesterday. They provide all of those, and then, of course, they have to take them down. Let me see. If I read you all of these things, as I say all the time, it's things that we take for granted. He wants to remind you that the recycling center will be open on November 4th from 8 to 11, and this is for self-service drop-off. And he wants us to remember that the residents are also reminded that plastic bag film will be accepted at Public Works facility or by appointment, and during the Saturday that the recycling center is open, so you can bring all those newspaper sleeves and the sleeves that are wrapped around your toilet paper and your paper towels, that type of thin plastic. And don't forget that according to your brochure, the leaves will starting to be coming down, and they will be starting to be collected. And he asks also that we don't put in grass clippings and twigs and branches in with it, because that slows up the whole process, gums up the machine. So we've already had the brush pickup for the year. So please do not put any of that in with the leaves. Also, there have been 2 property maintenance notices of violations and that were new this past month. And the others in previous months that have been mentioned have been rectified. And it's usually such things like letting your grass grow too high and things like that. Let me see. Oh my goodness, the green team met. And I don't know how many of you realize that we do have a green team.
I think they're doing a lot out there.
Yeah, they. Let me see if I can find some of the things that they do. Let me see.
Were they there yesterday?
But I think were they at the health fair yesterday?
Yes, they were.
Okay. Well, they had a meeting. Unfortunately, I had a conflict and I was not able to attend, but I did get some wonderful notes. They're exploring a lot of things, and they've divided it up into various tasks. They must have about 14, 15 people on this committee. So they've divided up a lot of the tasks, and one of them is coming up with a mission statement. And I think that they would like some time on the message that goes out on Fridays. They're looking to help with Sustainable New Jersey so that we can get extra points and hopefully go for a silver medal. We have a bronze medal at the time, and having this bronze medal or any medals helps us. First of all, it looks good to all the other towns in the state, and second of all, it allows us to go out for different grants and things. So
I think they want to come in for a visit to the council at some point in the future and talk about sort of some of the stuff they're doing.
yeah, once they have a little bit better.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
Okay. Comprehensive and good as always, Kathy. Councilwoman Erin McElroy Barker.
Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to report on recreation. Obviously, the most important thing to talk about is yesterday's Fanwood Family Pizza Run, Family Fun Run, and 5K. We prayed all week for the weather report to change, and it did, thankfully. And it was a really nice day, and it was cool enough to run. And the mayor got a shirt, even though she wasn't there. That's okay. She was there in spirit. She did have an obligation, which I understand. But yes, actually, these T-shirts were great.
They really are.
They're like nice T-shirts. I'll
They are.
actually wear mine
Very
again.
nice.
So, yeah, and they're soft. And all of the designs, by the way, for the 5K are all done by Bob Budiansky, who, if you Google him, is quite famous as a graphic artist, and he designed that this year.
Show all the sponsors.
Yes, and this year we did, right? We had
Yeah.
one
There was a
sponsor.
tremendous amount of effort from the Fanwood Recreation Commissioners to get multiple sponsors. I think we had more sponsors this year than ever, which is very exciting. And I will get to all the rest of that. Unless you want to help me, Ms. Walsh?
Sure.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so we had a total of 595 registrants between the 5K and the fun run yesterday, which, to put in context, is by far the biggest race we have ever held in the years that we've been doing the 5K and the fun run. And I think in large part that was due to the huge promotion that the recreation commissions were involved in, as well as completely changing the theme, the time, the route, everything. Everything in this run this year felt different and new, and, Westfield abandoned their pizza run, so we promptly took it, thanks to Neil Pierce, and it was a huge success. So of that, 329 people ran the 5K, and 266 kids registered for the fun run, so that was just under 600 people. In context, last year's run was a total of 234 registrants, and then even fewer were there actually because of the weather. And so there were only 110 registrants for the 5K last year and 124 for the fun run. And to be very honest with you, this race is a huge production, and there was a tremendous amount of discussion about maybe saying, okay, we've tried this, we've done this, it's a lot and we're done. And this year they decided to give it one more good old college try, and they were hugely successful. So I know that I speak on behalf of Bob Budiansky and the Recreation Commission when I thank all the Recreation Commissioners who have literally worked at this tirelessly for months. A reminder, all the Recreation Commission are all volunteers. No one is paid. Bob is the only employee of the town. So they've been working on this for many months. All of the adult volunteers that came and helped yesterday who aren't on the Rec Commission, plenty of students from Union Catholic and Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, the Boy Scouts, Police Department was hugely helpful, fire, EMTs, DPW, a couple guys came yesterday and they worked tirelessly, and they were the only two people still working when the rest of us went home. All of the sponsors that were generous enough to support the walk, and we CompuScore, which gave us a tremendous amount of advice and technical support in getting this working. And finally, I have to thank Nick's and Fabio's, both local pizza places who have always been very supportive of the community and who provided all of the pizza yesterday with no charge to the Recreation Commission whatsoever, which was amazing because then we could give out lots of pizza. And in gratitude to the Fanwood Police and the DPW guys, we tried to send them home with some pizzas as well. So we are very grateful to all of the departments within Fanwood as well as all the volunteers. And I think it was a tremendous success. We will have several meetings with all parties to go over what worked and what didn't work, and what was great and what wasn't great. It would also be great to get feedback from the community. If you participated, please don't be shy about sharing your feedback. You can always email me. I'm the liaison for the Rec Commission, and I can get that feedback to Bob. But I promise you the Rec Commission will be meeting and going over this. And probably planning bigger and better next year. But I do think, and Lieutenant Krantz is here, that I think the route also worked much better for the town, much better for traffic, much better for police coverage. And so I think that was pretty well received. It wasn't as hilly as I think our prior one, except the killer at the end. And so, it was a great day. And, the health fair was also there, and I think they were front and center on Borough Lawn and got a lot of attention and a lot of people, both before and after the race. Families kind of hung around and sort of bebopped around to all the different stations. The DJ kept everybody happy and busy, and next year my request is that half of the adults in Fanwood who aren't running, please come volunteer. We will have a job for you. And I'm hoping that this is the start of something, great and sustainable as long as we all keep working together. So I think that's my whole report. Anyone who missed it, you missed something, and you should come next year. And the weather gods will help us again. So that's the 5K and the fun run. The only other announcement I have for recreation prior to our next meeting is that October 31st is Halloween, and it is yet the next production of the Recreation Commission, but this one we sort of do with our eyes closed. The Halloween parade and the costume contest are October 31st. Don't quote me, and I'm sure the announcements will be on various sites before the 31st, but usually the parade steps off around 5:30 or 6, ends up at LeGrand Park in the circle, and we do have a costume contest, where there are only a few winners. So please, don't be intimidated. And there's always cider and donuts. Well, it used to start at the library. I can't promise that that will be the step-off point this year, considering the construction, but that's typically the route, is the library to the park. But I'm sure that we'll make announcements in the e-blast, and there'll be something on the Fanwood Rec site before Halloween, but that is the next big day, so look forward to that.
Thank you, and really, job well done by the Rec Commission, because I know it's been months in the making, and I think a little shout out to Kathy Shin, our, Fanwood Eye Care doctor,
Yes.
who kind of took this on herself, right, as a local businesswoman to kind of bring healthy, the options of all the professionals that are actually within Fanwood, so.
And they
I-
got quite a lot of traffic.
Yeah, I saw
At
her
all there.
today, as a matter of fact, and so they felt like it was nice.
It was
They
nice.
felt like they had
Cupcakes.
touching people, right?
Yeah, no, I think they got a lot of people. I mean, there were several hundred people there, and so they were milling about from table to table, and the dental group had their pretty awesome black and gold T-shirts,
They
and
had
half of them
fun.
ran, so
Yeah.
I think they had fun. I think it was a good day.
Good, job well done. Thank you very much for everybody who was there yesterday. And finally, under Health and Community Service, Councilwoman Gina Berry.
Hello. I'm going to start off with clinic. We have the rabies clinic coming up. That's tomorrow between 5:30 and 6:30 at LeGrand Park. It is free, and there's no appointment necessary. So that's tomorrow, the 17th, from 5:30 to 6:30 at LeGrand Park. And I do have a report for the health department. Vital statistics between the month of August and September, we had no births in town. Marriage, we had 3 marriages. Deaths in town of Fanwood residents, we had 2. Marriages out of town, Fanwood residents, we had 10. Death out of town, we had 3. So total births for Fanwood resident as of September 30th is 60. So we have a lot of babies in town. COVID tests, rapid test distribution are available at the Westfield Regional Health Department. I have a lot to say. The rapid test distribution, Fanwood Library had 120 test kits. Rapid tests are available, I just said that, at the Westfield Health Department. Wednesday, September 27th, there was a health clinic with only 1 vaccination provided. Additional clinics will be upcoming. The dates will be announced soon. Westfield is also doing home visits for flu vaccination. RSV vaccination are strongly recommended for seniors and pregnant women. And let's see if I have anything else. And I think that is it for my report.
Okay.
Thank you.
Flu season.
Yeah.
Flu season. Okay, we're going to move on to, department reports. Jesse, do you have anything you want to report out at this particular time?
Just to say that I'm excited to start working for the borough. Spent the last week meeting a good chunk, if not most, of the borough staff, meeting a couple members of the community, going to some of the public events, and just feel very welcomed here, and I'm excited to continue working. And,
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Liz, Jeffrey, our business liaison.
Hi, everyone. Not too much on the agenda for tonight. I do have just some updates. I'm sure you've seen that Soho is up out of the ground.
Yes.
And so
So that means
everyone
that
will be
the
delighted.
underground parking is done, right? Because now
Yes.
they've capped that, they're going to
Yes.
start now the
Yeah.
first floor.
And I had so many conversations, as I said last time, people are not accustomed to subsurface construction like that, which is a lot
Yeah.
that happens underneath the ground. But so now, once it starts going vertical, it'll be fast. And 40 South is finishing up. I'm not sure when they'll be starting tenancy, but
Looks nice.
it will be within the next few months,
Looks actually
definitely.
very nice next to the public service.
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the old El Sonio. Yep. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
actually nice on how they angled it.
And the only other stuff really for our construction is just, the usual projects are moving forward with their permitting, et cetera. And then we had the Fanwood Day Spa open on Fanwood
Yes.
Day, and that was really nice. So they had a ribbon cutting, and I think a lot of people did walk through because they were open all day then. It was kind of a, I think Pat Hoynes suggested, why don't you leave your doors open and let people come through, and that worked out great for them. So, yes, terrific place. I myself have been and can tell you that they're excellent with their massages and stuff. I also have another piece of good news. So
Come on,
the
Liz.
owner of Jessica's Cafe in Scotch Plains has executed a lease for the former rail site. So they're going to be keeping a presence. They're going to keep a presence where they are in Scotch Plains, is my understanding, but they will be
Plainfield.
moving the
Plainfield.
upper. Is it Plainfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, Plainfield.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're going to stay there?
Yeah, it's a.
They're going to keep that, and I don't know exactly what type of
Different-
cuisine it will
yeah,
be,
yeah.
but he's going to maintain
look at
that,
him.
but Jessica's operation will be going. So I would expect permits for the.
Yeah, what's the opening
It'll
date,
be-
Liz?
When they get the permits, we can,
When can we go?
so it's very exciting. So,
Yes.
and I think they're thrilled with how receptive Fanwood has even been to date, the professionals and everyone else. So that'll be great. I know that from what he's sending me in my phone, these amazing, improvements to the space and chairs and tables, and so it'll be a welcome, very, very vibrant use there that I think we'll all be happy about. So I'm so glad that the 5K and the health fair came off, because when I was looking at my little summary that I keep, we had the rain on Fan Jam, and then we had the rain again for Fan Woof Day. So
Both
I
days.
was
Both Fan Wolf days.
both
Yeah.
Fan
Oh, that's
Woof
right,
Days, right.
too.
So was like so hoping that it was going to be great, and it was. So and I thought the community everybody seemed to be so thrilled yesterday. So that's really it. The only thing we have downtown coming, other than Halloween festivities and holiday activities, is the Shop Small Saturday, which we'll be gearing
right.
up towards to remind.
Shop Small Saturday.
Shop Small
Remember that
Saturday,
day
which is
after
always Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we'll have our usual presence in the plaza. I don't know if Amex has a program at all, but Union County is trying to do something. So there'll be something. We'll have a regular day of good, rewards and things
Yeah, we
going
should
on
talk
downtown.
about that. Yeah, we'll have to figure out what we're gonna do.
What we can do. Union County, for the first time, has put together, they've met with, I myself attended one webinar information meeting that they had, and so they basically have been having some gatherings with the towns across Union County to do our own. And so they put out a poster, and I'm not sure what the program will bring, but there will be some things coming with that, so stay tuned.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well, that'll be
nice to
good.
see the county stepping in on that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks.
Okay. Antonio?
Good evening. So the carriage house has kind of been in a lull while we wait for roof shingles to be delivered.
Where are we with that?
We're at the 8-week point, which it was the expected 6 to 8 weeks from when he ordered.
Do we have them? Because I thought they had
We
to.
didn't get them yet. So once we get, I've been asking him, and he's been having trouble from his supplier getting an actual date. They told him 2 to 4 weeks, which, it doesn't mean anything to me unless I have a date. So I talk to him probably, if not every day, every other day. Once they get here, I've mentioned we have to let them sit for 2 weeks so that they could acclimate to our weather, because they're coming from Canada. And then after that, I expect 2 to 3 weeks worth of work to just finish up the project. It's been a long time, but.
But everything else inside is done?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone saw the building at
It's
the
beautiful.
The paint
event.
job looks nice,
They-
the floor looks nice.
The floors look great.
So I'll say the architect was pleasantly surprised when they said that, which, is good, because we didn't know what to expect with him. This is his first historic project, and he's been doing great with us.
Probably shouldn't have told me that.
The fact is that he's been above and beyond of what we expected at the end of the day, so the Forest Road Park Improvements Project, we're looking to make that into the shelter. I got a progress set of plans last week. They told us what I thought they would tell us. The generator that we have that we want to install is not big enough to power all the HVAC, so we were going to just power portions of the building in emergency situations.
Which is like the big room?
Yeah, the
So
big
that's
room.
okay, right?
So that's fine for what we
Because the
need.
rest is like a hallway
Yeah.
and bathroom.
Yeah.
And the
just
kitchen?
those two rooms.
The kitchen would have
So
to.
that's okay.
I don't know if the kitchen, I have to look at the
You
report
have
again.
to figure that piece out.
That would get us into our budget. If we went to the bigger generator, it would get us out of budget, so that wouldn't work right now.
So if you could just do a favor with me, is maybe bring Jesse up to speed at some point.
We have a meeting
with
set
that
up for
specific one,
tomorrow, I think.
Because that was in our capital, right? So we have the money. We've been talking about it for a long
Yep.
time, right? And so we have the cots, right, and the stuff that we have to take possession of, right? And so we just
And the
gotta,
room does fit them all.
Sooner better
He
than
mapped it
later.
out.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm trying.
It's been a year now, just about.
I'm trying.
Yep.
So, okay, thank you.
The two DOT project grants, the plans are progressing.
Which ones are we doing again?
We're doing Robin Road, 2nd Avenue, and Panda Court on one project, and then Willoughby Road and Oak Court on the second. So I didn't expect them to go into construction this year. We kind of awarded them late to do that, but I don't want to have, this year, our last project, we had to go into 2 years, and that just causes big problems.
Been there,
So,
done that.
yeah, we don't want to do that. And then the police police department lobby, I just spoke to the architect last week. He expects 2 weeks, he'll have a bid set of plans ready to go out the
And what are
bid.
we doing there?
And that's just for the window now?
So
We're only
we're-
doing that transaction? Or are we
Yeah,
doing, what did we just?
so he's preparing the plans 2 different ways.
Oh.
One, we want to see if we could get good bids. If we get a good number, we'll lower the floor on the inside.
What do you mean lower the floor?
So on the inside of the police department, it's.
Oh, you mean the dispatch, the old
Yeah,
dispatch
the
where it's
dispatch.
raised?
So the old dispatch is raised, so it's not
Yeah.
ADA compliant. So that would be done. And then the second window, there's a window in there looking into where the secretary's office is.
Right.
That would be closed up, that wall.
So what's the
I
project?
thought,
I'm sorry?
So what's the project?
So it would be fixing the dispatch room to make that ADA compliant, lowering the window to make that a,
that's where the public would come and speak to
yeah.
somebody.
It would be the transaction window.
Right.
That would turn that into the transaction window. And then the other room that the secretary's in now would be turned into like a little meeting room. So that's the bigger project.
And the flooring, when you walk
Flooring,
in?
yeah, that whole room would be.
Like the lobby?
Yeah.
Yes, the whole
So
lobby
new
area.
floor, painting,
Yep,
that whole thing?
yep.
Okay.
The smaller project, if the budget is too much with that, is to just change the transaction window from where it is now to move it over to where the secretary sits now and turn that into the transaction. So it'll be ADA accessible in a different location.
So that's like
Because
two
there's a
separate
window
projects.
there now,
It is
it's
two
just
separate
covered up.
projects, but it's tough to say how much money we're gonna have available.
Money. They want to get both.
But we gave them, didn't we give them money in the capital?
We gave the money in the capital, hopefully for the bigger project.
Right.
Right, that's what I thought.
But we
kinda
don't
gave
have the
them-
bid for the
That's
bigger
the goal.
project. But we don't have the bids.
We don't have the bids, we're not 100% sure that it will be enough. So this way, he has 2 projects going out, so just in case it's not, they have an option, a second option.
It's a little confusing, but
Well, I think the most important thing was that we figure out a way that when people walk into the lobby,
it's.
there's somebody to say, can I help you?
And it's
So
ADA
either it's going to be
compliant.
on the left where that big window is, and that's the big project, or if we can't do that, then the other window that's covered up now where Adrian sits can be, I think there's just
It's just a piece of.
sticky stuff on it. I don't know what you
sticker,
call
yeah.
that stuff. But that can come off, and then
Yeah.
there's a window where she can interact with the public.
Correct. And that would make it an ADA compliant access window, where right now, the window is up.
So either one, the floors get done and the
Yes.
painting
Yes.
gets
Both.
done and the, right?
Yes.
Versus just doing like okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lobby's gonna get upgraded one way or another. The wall work, I'll say, is.
But we hope for the bigger one.
I hope so too, just to get that done.
Okay.
To be continued. When I get a final set of plans, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, just bring Jesse up to speed tomorrow.
Okay.
We done with the nature center?
Nature Center is complete.
The elusive picture that we need to get at some
We're
point?
trying to.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's been raining, it's the same
Yeah, I
thing.
know.
Every time we schedule it, it rains. So we're trying to do a little kickoff. The leaves are all over the path now, so it's not as sharp as it was when it was built, but it's, it's still there. It'll be good.
Antonius, do you have any update on the EV charging stations?
No, I don't. So I know there's grant opportunities to do the work. I think, so our plan was originally to have them behind the shops. That's pretty much dead. It's just not
That was because of the
financially.
electricity and all of that?
It'll cost over $100,000 just to get power back there, which doesn't make sense. And Volta, I haven't even heard from them. I think they're not doing too well. But I'm thinking we
I
could
just keep
put,
seeing them more and more all
I was
over.
gonna say that they're all right.
They're all over now, and I don't know why
I'm
we
thinking
can't
we
do
could put
it.
them at the
Promote
2 train
something that they
station
could
parking
afford.
lots.
That'll be something Jesse can pick up.
This was
I
supposed to
just
be
saw-
free
I
to
can't
us, so
remember
if it ends
today
up
or was
costing
when
us-
they were
If
there.
this ends up costing us a lot of money and time, then it's
That's
not
what it-
something
yeah,
that we have the
that sold
resources.
us a
That's what
package of
happened.
goods.
It's
Yeah.
just- It was
They
supposed to
sold
be
us a
free.
package of goods.
Leave it, exactly.
Yeah,
It is done.
okay.
So I'm thinking north and south train station parking lots. We'll throw a couple in each lot.
And some of the development
if we can do
projects, right,
that.
Liz has EV charging stations, right?
They're all required to now.
Yeah, so within the
Oh, that's cool.
We'll get
developments.
them free from someone else someday.
Hopefully.
Okay,
There's money out there.
yeah, but the money's never enough.
That's
It's
true.
never enough. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Ton of credits, anything from the police department while you're here?
Sure, can I?
Sure, absolutely. Might as well make good use of your time.
Yeah, I'm sorry for being late. We had some interviews tonight. I just want to say that everyone in this room, Bob Budiansky, Bruce, people on rec, DPW squad, fire department, everybody did awesome yesterday. The pre-planning was great. Had some
Glitches.
kinks, I'll say. I already submitted an after-action report to the director, things we can change for next year. But in the end, it was a great event, and I look forward to getting advice from the public, from anybody here that, any ways we can make it better, we're willing to do it. So that's it. Just want to thank everybody here for.
What about your
Thank
pumpkins?
you.
You got your pumpkins with the cop coming?
We do. We have Police and Pumpkins on October 28th at LeGrand Park. I believe it's 10 a.m. to noon. First 50 kids get a pumpkin. There's coffee, hot chocolate. I'll be there. So,
Okay,
that's
thank you.
that's a reason to come in its own. That's it. We have the Halloween parade, which will be at the Northside train station this year.
Okay.
Thank you.
So it's at the train station, same route, ends same place.
Oh, it just begins at the train.
Just
Yeah,
across the
that's
street.
good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no room at the library
Yeah.
this year, so
Yeah, that's
we'll talk
perfect.
about that next year. So. That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mayor, can I just say one more thing?
Sure.
So Monday evening on the 23rd of October, 7 o'clock,
Yes.
we're going to be discussing the master plan. So the borough hired a planning firm to look at our master plan and update it with all new elements and update the elements. So they've come to a point where they're ready to make a presentation. I encourage everyone that wants to see the process, to understand what a master plan is and what it means to be there, thoughts on the borough's future. The more people that come and the more people that comment, it's very important for this document to be complete with everyone's thoughts.
Can you give the time and location?
So that's Monday, October 23rd, a week from today, 7 PM at Forest Road Park.
And there'll be a presentation.
There'll be a presentation.
Right, so if you can make sure that Caroline and I connect
Before that, okay.
before the end of the week.
Okay.
Probably like by Thursday or later.
Okay.
Maybe have Jesse on as well, just so to want to kind of go over the run show and I want to see our presentation and all that good stuff.
Set up like a meeting.
Yeah, Zoom is fine.
Zoom
Just,
meeting.
yeah, just something to kind of go over all the
Okay.
elements and what's up for discussion, what's not necessarily a part of the re-exam, because there's elements that
Yep.
we're not touching.
I think they're touching most of the elements,
Okay,
so we'll talk.
okay. All right, thanks. All right, anybody else? Seeing that there isn't any, may I have a motion to open up the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is the time I'd like to call forward any members of the public that wish to make a comment. Seeing that there isn't anyone that wishes to come forward, may I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? So before we adjourn, Courtney, is there any updates with the upcoming election that we should talk about?
I don't really have anything in particular, other than,
We have executive? Oh, okay.
that's okay. It is time to register if you are not registered.
Yeah, I think there's a date coming up. So we might,
Tomorrow is the deadline.
Yeah, it was-
Register, vote, register.
yeah, I think you have to register if you have not registered by tomorrow to be able to vote. All the vote by mails have been distributed for those who wanted it in Fanwood. I did my 2 college kids. Thank you very much. And again, we're back at Forest Road, no, where are we?
Forest Road,
Forest Road
yes.
Park for those who voted previously in the library.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So we do have an executive session, Russ?
Yeah, just very quickly.
Okay. So Courtney, do you want to read the resolution for the executive I think we have? I think there's a resolution
To go into executive.
to go into executive.
Yeah, we have it here.
It's at the end of the agenda?
Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act,
With my pen in.
PL 1975, Chapter 231 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body may discuss personnel, contractual, real estate, matters of attorney-client privilege, whereas minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore it be resolved that the Borough Council of the Borough of Fanwood, County of Union, State of New Jersey, that the public be excluded from this meeting.
Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Good evening. We will be going into executive session and coming out to expressly adjourn, and we will see everybody around town as there's a lot going on. So good night.